Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dark Souls. We're going to go and actually explore the rest of the depths, because it is a fairly big place. And before we actually do, let's run past all these slimes that are probably going to go and, well, drop on us. When you approach from the bonfire, you have less chance of getting, well, slimed. Than coming the other way around. Yeah, here's a very common trap. Actually, so we can better dodge this, let's have our rust iron ring on. Go back here. And now we're able to actually move around freely in this knee-deep water. All for a nameless soldier soul, so I mean, they really like to screw you over on this one. Right now this should start looking a bit familiar to you. It is where we initially dropped down in. The reason we're back up here is, well, we're gonna fight the other butcher. That's a grab. Don't even bother with that one. Hopefully he can drop his only... Yes, we got the sack. It's not particularly good, it's just a fun item. Like I said, not particularly good. But now we're just wearing a sack on our heads. So the reason why we came back here is to fight that butcher, and also...
Here, over here. Please, you must help me.
We have a brother in arms. If you were to actually attack the barrels, he would get hostile towards you. That's why you gotta start doing dodge rolls on him.
Thank you. I would have been a supper without you. Been eaten alive. I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius, Lord the Great Swamp. I will not forget my debt to you.
Alright, and now we'll have access to him.
I'm fine, thanks to you.
In the bonfire. And actually, let's go to Firelake Shrine, because there's a few things we want to do before completing this. So, I'll meet you on the way over. Now that we're back, we can talk to some of the friends that we've rescued.
Oh, hello. I regret meeting you under such compromising circumstances. At least we both made it back unscathed. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested?
Not particularly, but why not?
Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away. Have you heard of Big Hat Logan? Master Logan is a great sorcerer and my teacher. Both of us came to this land as undead. But one day he departed, leaving only a note. I suppose he wished to keep me out of harm's way. But where does that leave me? I have dedicated myself to sorcery, but Master Logan could find no use for me.
It's kind of a defeatist attitude. And he has some fairly useful sorcery spells if we're ever doing sorcery. And both of these rings are amazing. Mainly the Bellowing Dragon Crest ring, because the Lingering one isn't... That's only for enchantments. And enchantments are good, but...
Do stay safe.
Boosting the damage of enchantments are even better, or boosting the damage. Oh, hey.
Oh, hello. My guests have finally arrived. I will be departing with them shortly. So, I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure. Oh, hello. Miracles, I presume? Yes, I know.
And we could finally learn his gesture without having to actually be a part of his covenant.
An undead mission? Regrettably, I cannot share that with you. But you are my pupil. Perhaps if you show your faith.
We don't have enough to do that.
I'm afraid that may be difficult, for our missions are sacred.
The soul requirements are strictly due to your level. So anything... what's the word I wish to use? Anything particularly that requires you to pay souls to learn some information, it's going to be because of your level only. This talisman is actually really, really good, especially for those that aren't really putting that much into faith. The magic adjustment alone helps us. And you know, it does say like, oh yeah, it's only 19 for the magic adjustment, same with the talisman, but this is almost strictly for people that don't want to use any sort of faith.
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
When we get more souls, we'll talk to them.
What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good.
Such prejudice, just because we have a bag on our head.
You are undead as well. Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us. Did I not explain the urgency of our tasks? Or are you so uncouth as to lack such judgment? By the looks of you, I should think not.
Yeah, every one of his friends is just complete and total jerk. Maybe he'll be nicer to us.
Well, I see you made it out. Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my pyromancy in the Great Swamp, so I can use my manage with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it, all you need are the materials. I'd be pleased to help you. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
We don't find the magic's unsavory, no.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Why, let's get started right now.
Oh, combustion. Probably my most favorite spell in the game. A lot of people don't like it, and I'm not sure why. It's probably the single most powerful and fastest spell we have. Though I shouldn't have probably spent that money, because I want to talk to one other person that we saved.
Pyromancy is the art of casting fire. Produce flame, then channel it, just as our ancestors did. A pyromancer must be in tune with nature herself. My home, the Great Swamp, is an abundant store of nature. You will understand one day. It only takes time.
No, it's not. The Great Swamp's a terrible place.
Pyromancy has a, well, rather primitive aspect to it. It meshes poorly with advanced culture, and pyromancers are considered rather unsavoury. Which is fine, as I never got along with anybody anyway. So, for me, turning undead didn't change a thing.
Pyromancers are the hipsters of mages.
A pyromancer's flame is a part of his own body. The flame develops right along with his skill. Oh, sorry. You're a pyromancer yourself. You already know this. A pyromancer's flame is a part of his own...
Alright, we've heard this.
Flame...
It's our golden armored friend.
Hello there. I
Please, accept it.
Yay, sunlight metal.
I am grateful to you for freeing me. Not enough for you? Well, let's not be greedy now.
And we actually... let's go and get some souls on us for this because, well, we actually do want to learn a little bit more about this guy.
You again. What is it? Our futures are murky. Let's not be too friendly now.
Alrighty. There's one way we can get him to talk to us again. That jerk! What the f— Oh, you are such a jerk. We should still have been able to talk with him. For the while.
Why, what a surprise. I didn't expect you to make it. Oh, somebody rang the bell. Wait, was it you? You never give up, do you? I don't know how you do it. Well, don't stop now. Only one more. But it's going to be suicide.
I do apologize, though. Well, let's meet back into the depths, and we'll... Before we do, though, let's meet up with... the female undead merchant. We have some alluring skulls, which are pretty nice, but I've never found more of a use for them outside of that boar. And pretty much the only way to get transient curses without farming them. Oh yeah, that's right, I think they added the Purging Stone to her roster before she didn't have any. The rotten and charcoal pine resins are going to be extremely useful for us in, if we weren't using the Black Knight sword, that is.
What a humdrum lass.
So we're back in the depths. Just kind of going through our normal business, having to deal with a lot of dredgelings. Okay, that was a interesting lag spike to say the least. Love the fact that the plunging attack seems to just completely not get noticed by the others. Not that I'm complaining, because a mob of dredgelings is never a fun thing. That's what I always hate, that one attack. And as you can see, well, you can just come down here with Reckless Abandon. It's not... We don't need to go through any of the other parts of the depths. The depths is pretty much a shortcut everything type of area in the first place. We started to run through this area without waiting for the slimes to come down, we would surely be overran by them. Slimes are extremely weak to fire, so if you have maybe a flame weapon, you'd be able to farm large chunks off of them pretty easily. There is another place in Blighttown, which is going to be our future destination. That, well, there's some enemies there that people say it's a lot easier, but it's about 50-50 for me. Alright, I'm already interested. We're not able to access our bonfire. Oh, never mind. The soul side's disappearing like that, and the bonfire all of a sudden becoming inaccessible might lead us up to getting invaded by an actual humanoid player. Most of the rats, they're generally non-hostile to us, just because, well, they're rats and they're always fleeting against somebody more powerful. Humanity and a great axe. The humanity, of course, coming from the rats, but the great axe, let's equip it. It's not particularly grand. I think we are able to... No, we're not. Never mind. We're not even able to two-hand it. That's a shame. It's kind of a fun weapon, if at all pointless. They love to do little ambush tactics like that. But, I mean, that's about the only place where a rat comes... Well, not the only place. This would be the only place where rats would ambush you. Fighting against rats is a bit difficult in the fact that, well, they love to go and constantly jump you with multiple rats. This area can be easily skipped, and that's generally not a good idea, especially if you want to fight the boss. But we have a sorcerer down there. We still haven't upgraded our pyromancy glove, and I feel completely bad for not doing that. Though as you can see, it's dealing more than enough significant damage to anything thus far. Pyromancy still is considered one of the most overpowered magics in the game. Get the sorcerer up without dealing with the rats, that would be even better, but seems that's a no-go for us. I knew they were there, it's just, for some reason, they always seem to get me. What we don't need is to be poisoned right now. In fact, let's go back to the spider shield, so if there is more ambushes... There we go, I knew something was over here. Large Titanite shard. That's going to be helpful when we want to go past 5 on our normal weapons, or anything else, really. rats tend to stay away from us as much as possible. I'm kind of surprised that they're standing their grounds as much as they are. Strong attack with the Black Knight sword is not good at all, but the jumping attack is amazing and more than makes up for it. You see, there's holes that we can fall through, and we so don't want to do that. Not at this point in time. Come back to, well, the huge rat's chamber. You may have wondered why we've even done this. It's just we really need to get that sorcerer out of the picture. He's just no good. The depths aren't necessarily an interesting place, outside the fact that there's one engagement, which I believe we have to go all the way over here to achieve. Run back really quick. There we go! Knight Kirk. One of the few unique enemies in the game. He has the Thornmail set, which doesn't seem too particularly useful, and holy crap. Knight Kirk's not too dangerous at this moment. But the Basilisk is. He didn't drop any of his weapons? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, we're definitely unlucky on that aspect of the game. He has a chance to drop his shield as well as his spiked short sword. Both have the ability to cause bleed, and if we have the whole set together, our rolls can do damage, very significant damage too. So if we had the ability to maybe do a fast roll while having that set, it'd be pretty. It's pretty fun. These basilisks are really dangerous, just for the simple fact that they can curse us. Cursing reduces our health by half permanently, unless we have a curse stone or a purging stone, I should say. Ooh, the Eye of Death. It's one of the few items that we can get from monsters that are almost exclusively Covenant items. We haven't seen that Covenant yet, but that's okay. We'll be seeing it soon enough. And the more we're in this poison mist that the basilisks pop out, the more chances we are of getting cursed and stoned. It's kind of a twofold ability. Cursing and stoning in this game are two similar things. Once the curse bar is filled, we instantly die. Alright, now then, let's do this properly. And we gain a humanity out of this. What we really want to do is get the Ring of the Evil Eye. It's a vampirism ring. So any enemies we kill, we gain a small portion of health back. It's pretty good considering, well, there's a lot of cannon fodder enemies that we can be killing. And if you don't get hit, well, or if you get hit to maybe a minimum, this is more than enough that we need. As you can see, we just regained... I wish I could actually see it as a number instead of just the bar without having to constantly switch back and forth. But I think it's about maybe... I want to say like 5% of our max health back. Though before, I don't remember the slimes ever giving us our health back. Oh man, we are getting so lucky with the humanities today. Oh, it's probably one of our other more favorite NPCs. Everybody loves this guy.
Aye, Shemai, and good day to you. I'm Donald of Xena. I'm just, well, a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them.
He's going to be our source for gold pine resin, if we weren't using the Black Knight sword, of course. And some crystal weapons. They're not too great. They have really high damage, but you can never repair them. There's a trick to getting them repaired, but that trick is a bit difficult. Because once you reach it to its max conclusion, it's still not going to be good. And then we have his armor set. It's extremely, extremely expensive, but it's fairly useful. We're not going to be buying that.
Well, that is a shame, but no matter. No, not to worry. Come back again.
And before actually this,
Not every trade.
he was the only one that sold bottomless boxes.
For us. Someday, sometime.
Alright, let's go on and defeat the boss of this game. Or not the game, but this level. That is a huge arena. And generally, if we can see the arena, we know how big the boss is going to be. Yeah, that is. It's going to be a big boss. That's our favorite Sunbro again. And actually, if we can see it from here, right over there, you can see that's actually where we came in from initially. From, with killing that sorcerer, that is. Alrighty, you guys ready? The optional boss, Gaping Dragon. His head, that tiny little thing, is his weak point. He looks a lot scarier than he actually is. He also has a secret item. We don't need it, of course, but... Let's see if I can actually hit his damn tail. That tail is probably the most dangerous thing on him, and we can cut it off. His attack pattern is pretty simple. It's throw your head down, bring it back up, because that head is, again, his weak point, and he does one other attack if we can ever get him to do it. Well, there's a couple of actually attacks. He could do that. He could do a tail swipe, which thankfully he doesn't want to do. Dragon King Great Axe. Another more gimmicky version of the Drake Sword, and actually deals less damage. That's a grab, and boy, if he grabs you, look out. There's a little glitch though. If you do chop off his tail, sometimes it doesn't register it as being, well, destroyed. Just want him to do that one other attack. It's fairly obvious that when he's gonna do it as well. The grab. That could potentially kill us in one shot. Out. Yep, there's... Forgot to mention... Oh, there was his tail swipe too. Forgot to mention that when he takes off in the air, he'll generally try to land on this. With a lot of grabs, they seem to be kind of buggy too. If you feel like you've completely... If you've completely been missed by the grab, you're generally still going to be hit by it. No, still not the attack that I'm wanting. That's okay, that's okay. We'll start actually doing some damage to him. Maybe he'll decide that he wants to do it. And sometimes he just doesn't want to land on you. Come on, come on, one other attack. It's pretty awesome. Here it is, finally. He starts, well, puking all over the arena. That does hefty durability damage. He looks a lot scarier than he actually is, though. He is not too much of a difficult boss. One last time. Even without the Black Knight sword, he's pretty much a pushover. I mean, we've seen his whole attack pattern. And we got the standard warrior set. It's not the knight set, but it's probably an upgrade at this point if we didn't get the elite knight set. All right. Well, it's time. It's time that we actually go to Blighttown. Automatically, the atmosphere changes. It's a lot darker. It's a lot more everything, really. And we're met with our first enemy of Blighttown. It's actually a way we can actually cheese this boss fight, or this fight, not the boss fight. Just come up here and stand on this side, and they should generally There we go. They just walk off. We're not going to venture through. No. We're actually going to end the episode right before we go into Blighttown. Thank you all again for watching, and we'll see you on another episode of Dark Souls.